What's cracking, Jack? It's Wednesday, October 29th, and you're in the jungle. 10 games in the association tonight. Let's break them all down and talk about the best ways to beat those books up. Let's go. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate, and welcome to the jungle. We're going to break down all 10 games in the NBA tonight, and I'm going to give you a best bets, sometimes two, for each one of those games. And I'll leave two links in the comments section. The first link is to my $5 favorite play of the day. And for just $5 and no further obligation, you get my best bet of the day text to your phone. Yesterday's bet was Ivica Zubac over 15.5 points. He missed. He had 14. First miss we've had on a play of the day in 5 days. The second link is to become a Jungle member. And for as little as 55 cents a day as a Jungle member, you get my full betting card. Everything that I bet personally, text right to your phone every day, all sports. You also get access to our members-only Discord and a direct line to me if you like my opinion on any other game that you're considering betting. We have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name and sports betting research, and by Red Lobster, proud to be the setup and filming location of the new season of To Catch a Predator. Our journey begins this Wednesday with Houston at Toronto. The Rockets are minus 5.5, over-under at 232.5. I like the Rockets minus the 5.5 here. This Raptors team is a better version of previous Raptors teams of recent past. They score and they don't play much defense. The Houston Rockets are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. They were last year and so far again this year. The difference this year with this team is they can score. Although they're 1-2, the losses were to 1 point to Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma City, the champs, and a 3-point loss in Detroit. The Rockets actually score more than the high-scoring Raptors do this season. They scored 124 a game. Toronto scored 121.5. And they do what Toronto doesn't do. They play defense. Despite their losing record, the Rockets maintain a point differential of plus 7.7 a game. I like Houston minus the 5.5. Cleveland at Boston. Cavs minus 3.5, over-under at 233.5. Man, this game's a lot different than it looked last year, isn't it? Jaylen Brown is a game-time decision for Boston. If I played a side, I'd take the Cavs minus the 3.5. But the best play in this game is Donovan Mitchell, Spider, over 29.5 points. He's been over this line in 3 of his 4 games this season with a median of 33 points a game. Garland is still out, Strus is out, and now Merrill is out as well. So that puts even more usage Mitchell's way. And he always overperforms against Boston. He's been over this line his last 4 games against the Celtics with a median of 35 points. Spider Mitchell over 29.5. Orlando at Detroit. Detroit plus 1.5 at home. Interesting game. Over under at 226.5. I like the Magic minus the 1.5 or take them on the money line for a price better than minus 130 if you can get that. The way that the Pistons play, they tend to win the higher scoring games and lose the lower scoring games. They're more of a fast-paced offense than they are a half-court style of offense, and Orlando forces their opponents to play that way. A good example is the way the Pistons play and how they have a hard time with that. Their last game was a home game against Cleveland, who plays a very similar style of offense to Orlando. The Pistons scored just 95 points in that game. They prefer to run, and Orlando won't allow that. Take the Magic. I would also look at Franz Wagner's over points prop. Atlanta at Brooklyn, Hawks minus 8.5, over-under at 38.5. Jalen Johnson, Zachary Richache. Game time decisions for the Hawks. The Nets allow more points than any team in the association. Teams are scoring 130.5 points a game against Brooklyn, for Christ's sake, and their point differential is minus 16.5 a game. The chance that Brooklyn would have to keep this within the number is if they make their perimeter shots with Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. But that's where the Hawks' defense is actually good. It's bad everywhere else. They don't defend the paint well or mid-range, but they do defend the three-point shot well. They defend the perimeter well. They're 8th in three-point percentage allowed because that's where Dyson Daniels lurks, one of the best defenders in the NBA. He'll probably lock onto Cam Thomas, keep him in check. I'd lay the big number with the Hawks. Sacramento at Chicago, Bulls minus 5.5 at home, over-under at 238.5. I like the Bulls minus the points. Sacramento's on a back-to-back coming in from Oklahoma City in a physical game. They're 1-3, and this Bulls team is playing much better basketball at the moment than the Kings are. They're 3-0, and they're playing great defense. 4th best in the NBA, allowing just 110.7 points a game late with Chicago in the Windy City. Pacers at Dallas. Mavericks minus 6.5. over under at 227.5. Indiana's 0-3. It's not their fault. It's funny to say, but decimated by injuries. Here's the injury report again for Indiana. No Andrew Nemhard, no Benedict Matrid, no Halliburton, no Obi Toppin, no T.J. McConnell. It's too much to ask the Pacers to go in and cover this number in Dallas against a Mavericks team that's banged up but also getting healthier. They might be getting Derek Lively back tonight, Daniel Gafford, and Anthony Davis is expected to start as well. I would look at Cooper Flagg's points to the over as well in this game. It's set at 15.5. He's been over this in 2 of his 4 games. He did not go over against Oklahoma City and San Antonio. 2 of the best teams, probably the 2 best teams in the West, and 2 of the best defensive teams in the West. He should be able to get loose tonight against a Pacers team that's without 5 of their best 8 players. Pardon me. Pelicans at Denver. Denver minus 12.5, over under 235.5. Zion is questionable, of course. Game time decision as always for New Orleans. Denver has a plus 9.6 point differential in the season. Pelicans have the second worst to the Nets, minus 14 a game. I would lay the points with Denver. My favorite play in this game, Aaron Gordon over 16.5 points. And this is why I always say I talk medians, not averages. And here's why, okay? His points line, Aaron Gordon's points prop is set at 16.5. He's got an average of 25.3 points a game because he scored 50 in one game. But his median is 17. That's what the books use. His point line 16.5. So don't look at averages. Look at medians. It takes the outlier performances away to the high and to the low. New Orleans allows a ton of points to opposition. Good game for Gordon to hit over 16.5. Portland at Utah. Portland minus 3.5. Over under 233.5. I take Portland minus the 3.5 here. Portland is built to beat this Utah team. The Jazz like to play with pace. They play at the 3rd fastest pace in the NBA, but a remarkable stat about the Blazers is they outshoot their opponents by 11.5 shots a game. The next closest to them is a Raptors team that shoots 6.7 more times a game than their opponent. I also think it'll be a fairly high-scoring game. I'd lay the points with Portland, and I would also consider the over. Lakers at Minnesota. Minnesota minus 7.5. Over under at 225.5. Luka out for the Lakers, of course, and Anthony Edwards out for Minnesota. This is a weird game to handicap, but I take the over. Every Lakers game this season has gone over this number of 225.5, and 3 out of 4 Minnesota's games have. I know we're losing scoring with Luka, but we're also losing defense with Anthony Edwards. Not my favorite game on the board, but if you want to play it, I'd bet the over. In the last game we're looking at, Memphis at Phoenix. Phoenix plus 1.5, the over-under at 242.5. 3 things I like in this game. I would take the Grizzlies minus the 1.5 or on the money line if it's priced better than minus 130. But I also like the over because neither one of these teams play a lick of defense. But I love Devin Booker over 29.5 points. The only 2 guys essentially shooting for the Suns have been Booker and Dillon Brooks. They both have a usage percentage over 30%, which is very abnormal for any 2 players on the same team who are on the court at the same time. Dillon Brooks is out, so that puts a lot more usage on Devin Booker's shoulder. Now, Jalen Green may come back tonight, but if he does, it's his first game with his new team, and he'll be on a minutes restriction because of his injury. Best play on the board in this game is Devin Booker over 29.5 points. Let's have a day, Jungle Nation, and I'll see you tomorrow with a little more money in your pocket.